Affordable housing is hard to find in America. The problem may be most challenging for low-income Americans. According to one study, the U.S. has only 35 affordable and available rental properties for every 100 extremely low-income households. But now an unexpected source of low-cost living space is emerging. Some of America's houses of worship are making use of a major asset and using it to help people settle down and start new lives. What is it like to have a place for you to hang your pictures once again?
I can't even describe what it's like to have a place. The pictures are just a small part.
Gina Momany's place over the last 2 years is a one-bedroom apartment in Arlington, Virginia.
It's a smaller one bedroom than most, but it's perfect for me.
Before coming to the V-Point apartment, she lived in a shelter. She lost her house, her car, and 2 jobs when epilepsy made it impossible to continue working.
Well, for 6 weeks, I had to sleep on the floor till you could get a bed, and then it's pretty tough. I mean, you have to eat when they say to eat. You have to watch what they say to watch on TV. You have to be in by 11. You have to have lights out, and I'd never lived a life like that before.
Now she has freedom and affordability, something hard to come by in the Washington, D.C. area. Here, 70 of the 116 units are rented below market rate in a county where the median household income is $110,000 and the average rent about $2,000 a month.
I pay around $202 a month.
That's remarkable.
It's incredible because I make $900 on Social Security, so it makes it so you can live.
It may be surprising, but the apartments were funded through a partnership between Arlington County, the State Housing Finance Agency, and the church at Clarendon. It's been on this plot of land for 110 years.
You see a steeple on the front, steps that lead up into what's obviously a church with the name of the church on it, and then you look and you say, well,
what's that?
There are apartments up there.
Deacon Rob Ryland says the old church was in need of repairs, but the dwindling congregation didn't have the funds.
You are good.
Selling the property could have brought in tens of millions of dollars, but the church decided to try to serve the community on a larger scale.
You know, we looked up and thought, well, there's all this space up there that's not being used. What can we do? Housing is a traditional ministry of the church. We had to do it right.
Owned by a nonprofit, the complex participates in federal, state, and local government affordable housing programs. The church still owns the second floor and part of the first.
Arlington has lost about almost 15,000 of its market affordable units.
Jill Norcross is the executive director of that nonprofit. Can you scale this?
I mean, I think you can. There's a lot of churches. There are a lot of faith communities in this area. A lot of faith communities that are looking to really transform and that are in a state of change, and it can really be a benefit to the faith community itself as well as the residents they're trying to serve. It's a win-win.
Across the country, other land-rich, cash-poor faith groups are following suit. Take the Bible Way Church in Washington, D.C. It's created nearly 700 affordable housing units in a zip code where home values have increased by 207% since the year 2000.
That's right, I forgot. This is Spirit Week.
It's given Deborah Johnson and some 50 other grandparents raising their grandchildren an affordable place to live in a city where it's needed most. This hasn't been an easy road. The Views Project faced 4 lawsuits, including one alleging it violated the First Amendment separation of church and state.
There is federal case law precedent now that allows a mixed-use facility, which is properly funded and properly accounted for and audited and so forth, to be able to participate in the federal affordable housing program. And that was not clear before our project.
And this congregation led the way.
Yeah, we did that.
Developers have built more affordable housing over the last 2 decades, thanks to the low-income housing tax credit, the federal program which gives tax incentives to private investors to build rentals for low-income households.
Church leaders are looking for a new way to fulfill their mission, to take advantage and be good stewards of the land and property they own, and a way to be relevant to their communities.
Nina Janopal is the president and CEO of the Arlington Partnership for Affordable Housing. She's helped several churches navigate the redevelopment process.
We're seeing in communities like Arlington and Alexandria, Fairfax, Northern Virginia, Montgomery County, across the river, they're creating a plan, a master plan to say we want to do more of this. They're actually highlighting churches and reaching out to them and trying to create a path for them to achieve this.
The path is clearer for Gina Momini. She may not worship inside a church, but her apartment has been a godsend. What does a partnership like this mean?
Everything. It's a lifeline to most people. I would be at the shelter if it wasn't for the church.
Yes, that's so right. And
Simple as that, right?
simple as that in
Yeah.
cities like New York and LA and DC and across this nation, there are churches,
Yeah.
Catholic churches, there are synagogues. Wow, what an incredible opportunity here.
Yeah, what a difference for those families who get
You
this.
just need the space. This is the idea behind, I think, some of the religious-based communities, the idea of helping and being there for the community.
It is their #1 mission in many cases.
All right.